28 February 2024, and today I've got quite a short broadcast. I won't be talking for a very, very long time. There's not much happening. The most important story that is happening this week, and in fact this weekend, is the burial of Mo Blessing Ali. Everyone is looking at that burial, and it's going to be a uniting factor among all the opposition players. So you should expect a lot of peace within the next few days as everyone prepares for the burial of Mo Blessing Ali on Saturday. And if you go on Twitter, you'll see that the brother of Mo Blessing Ali, I think it's called Washington Ali, he has tweeted the details of the burial. So this is going to be an event that is set to unite everyone around Zimbabwe, especially the opposition players. So I'm expecting to see what Chamisa is going to do and what other people like Scala are going to do. This is a very, very important event in the calendar of the opposition. Everyone has been waiting for this burial. The body of Mo Blessing Ali has been sitting in hospital unburied, mutilated for a very, very long time. So I want to quickly go through a few stories that is there. There's not many stories today, but they're all very important. So I want to start by looking at the pictures that have been published this morning by H Metro. And this is very, very significant. So H Metro has published a meeting between Prophet Makandiwa and Uebert Angel. And this is bizarre. To me, this is bizarre. Prophet Makandiwa would not have this meeting. Normally, I don't think he's doing this meeting willingly. And I think that he's been forced into this meeting for some reason. And I think the reasons are to do, obviously, with his business interests in Zimbabwe. Because I don't think right now anyone wants to be associated with Prophet Uebert Angel. I don't even know if I can call him Prophet Uebert Angel. But I don't think anyone wants to be associated with him at the moment. So these pictures are bizarre because they are pictures, but there's no story. So the whole purpose of these pictures was to show that Uebert Angel met with Prophet Makandiwa. What I know is that there's obviously a lot happening behind the scenes, and there is a big conflict happening between Prophet Makandiwa, Uebert Angel, and the other bigger prophets behind the scenes. So I take this as something that is related to the current political environment in Zimbabwe. So this meeting, you should see it in the context of the current political environment in Zimbabwe. And I believe that Makandiwa is probably being put under pressure to have such meetings because he could eventually lose something or his assets or whatever privileges he has in Zimbabwe. And obviously, Makandiwa, because in fact, he's the biggest prophet right now in Zimbabwe in terms of following and in terms of respect among the prophets. I believe that this meeting is very significant. It shows that the guys within the system want to control what people like Makandiwa do. And I want to point you to a video that was put out during this week by Apostle Makore. Apostle Makore is very respected within, I think, everywhere, within Zanu-PF and outside. So I want to quickly share with you the video, and then you can obviously go and look at that video. But I believe that Makandiwa, Prophet Makandiwa did not have this meeting willingly. I believe that he was forced into this meeting. So let's look at what Prophet Makore said here during the week. I in fact watched this video and I was thinking, should I push it out as the whole video or not? But I think there is something bigger happening behind the scenes, and people like Makandiwa are being put under pressure to meet people in the system. So let's see what Prophet Makore said here during the week.
That's his ministry. Uebert Angel has gone back to Zimbabwe. He's establishing himself back. After all what he did, right, he then went on to the Doom, where he was thinking he would fill it to capacity. But you can see that there's a lot of gaps in there. He's starting to see reality. And then you look at Prophet Makandiwa in Chitungwiza there. You'll see that there's hardly a chair or any position for somebody to be standing. You have to be early for you to get a sitting position. He's seeing that, he's weighing and he's seeing that right. I have tried. But as a person, he will be knowing right deep down in his heart that no. the ground is controlled here by Emmanuel Makandiwa. He knows that. So him ushering all that is to try and come back so that at some point he shares to that. Prophet Makandiwa is a wise person. You remember him saying, if ever there's anything that I would want to consult or any prophetic that I would need verification, there's one person that I would ask, and it's Prophet Uebert Angel. The time he said that, they were already out of good books, but he could not say it public. Why? Because it will also discredit him, and it will also undermine him for coming public about it. Discredit him in such a way that how can you say you're no longer brothers with this one? Yet he is the very same person you were working with when you were making your name. He used wisdom to protect himself.
Right. So that is the video I was sharing with you there. It's a very long video. It's 48 minutes. You can go and watch. But this is a bizarre meeting. Uebert Angel and Prophet Makandiwa. There's something happening here behind the scenes, and I believe that these are forced meetings between the two. For what purpose, I don't know. But there's obviously a big issue happening here between the prophets and the political guys. So let's see what happens. I hope that Prophet Makandiwa doesn't eventually get thrown out of Zimbabwe, because those are the kind of things that happen. If something quite small that looks small can eventually become very big, and I see this as one of those things that will become very big. I'm also going to share with you another story that is going to become very big very soon, which is the INSCO story. So the INSCO story looks very small, but it's going to become very big. There are many court cases that are now starting to pop up. So at first, INSCO sued Rutendo Make, and then now there are a lot of stories about the quality of food that is being produced by INSCO, and also externalization of funds, how they make profit, rulings from the Competition Commission. You can go to Linda Masarira's Twitter. You will see all this around. So there are many people and many things that are happening, and everything is going to start to come together. As I said to you, the next 4 years are going to be critical. This is where you are going to see who is who in the next 4 years, because Zimbabwe is going to go through a big transformation within the next 4 years. And some people are going to fall to the wayside. Some people are going to be on the wrong side. Some people are going to be on the right side. But as you know, within the next 4 years, there will be a new system in Zimbabwe. And that system, you have to make sure that you don't make a mistake at this point. So if you are going to make a decision, make sure that you don't go to the wrong side, because the people that are going to be on the wrong side, their life is going to be very hard going forward. And this is where we are right now. So if you want to see more detail about the INSCO case, you can go to Linda Masarira's Twitter. You can also go to Rutendo Make Twitter and YouTube and TikTok. There's been a lot happening around that space. Accusations flying. And then this bizarre meeting that I'm showing you here between Uebert Angel and Prophet Makandiwa with no story. So if you go to H Metro, there is the pictures, but there's no story. What was the meeting about? What was said in the meeting? And why were they meeting? Where did they meet? Those things are not there. And when I see that kind of story, it's clear to me what is happening. This is a forced meeting, a publicity stunt on one side. And as Prophet Makore said there is no relationship. Sorry, Apostle Makore. There's no relationship between Uebert Angel and Prophet Makandiwa. The two fell out a long time ago over their spiritual fathers. So I think one of has got Boateng is the spiritual father, and the other one is got Apostle Chris as the spiritual father. And you saw last week that Prophet Uebert Angel was in Malawi for the birthday of Prophet Bushiri. And Bushiri and Makandiwa, they can never mix. It's like mixing water and oil. So big story just about to develop. Watch this picture. It's the beginning of something that we're going to be talking about for a very long time. And it's a mixture of religion and politics. So there is a mixture here of religion and politics. And it's just the beginning. Now let's go quickly to a few other stories, and then we'll wrap up. The South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa, has appointed the first female Chief Justice, Deputy Chief Justice Mandisa Maya has now been nominated as the incoming Chief Justice of South Africa. This is a first in South Africa and in many other countries. Then there is a young DJ from Zimbabwe, ZiFM. She is called Lorraine Goya, I think. Let's see what her picture says here. Lorraine Goya. She used to be at ZiFM. Yes, the B Goya. I don't know how to pronounce that. She's been arrested for shoplifting. She's been a habitual shoplifter, stealing alcohol in places, in beer halls in Harare. So she's been arrested and she appeared in court yesterday. And then obviously there's that story that I gave you of Khama Billiat. Khama Billiat is going to be unveiled by Yadah as their player. And as I said to you, Prophet Magaya is broke. He's got no money. So I don't know if he's going to be able to pay Khama Billiat $50,000 and signing fee of $20,000 and a flat and a car and probably school fees and all other those other things for the children of Khama Billiat. But he's going to be unveiled on Thursday. So that is the story here with Khama Billiat. I want to quickly go through the newspapers. I didn't get a chance to go through the newspapers. So in the Newsday, they are leading with the story of ED Mnangagwa's friend. She's been running rampage in Harare, taking call from a company in Wange, and they're saying that she is actually not friends with Mnangagwa, but Mnangagwa himself didn't say it. It was said by the police. So Matanga and the spokespersons in the police, they are saying that this young lady is not friends with Mnangagwa, but Mnangagwa himself hasn't said it. So I want to take you to the Newsday newspaper. If you go to the Newsday newspaper, right at the front, there is a young lady here called Lisa Mary Marupafadzo Mutuke, and she's a well-known fraudster convicted in the UK for a number of fraud cases. But she is very close to ED, according to herself, and according to previous cases at Kotko. She's very close to ED, and the police here are saying they're not going to intervene in the case where she is taking coal or coke from a company which is owned by the Chinese. And you should understand how significant this is. The Chinese are not going to be happy about this. There is a lady called a Chinese national. I don't know if it's a woman or a guy. It's called Feng Gao. And Marupafadzo has been taking coke from the company there. It's called Wange. Let's see what's HCGC. She's been taking coke there using a court order. But the Chinese company was not notified when the ruling was handed down. So they did not receive any papers. She just appeared with a court case, with the court ruling, and is taking coke. And she said that Mnangagwa sent it, and the police, Matanga, knows all about it. So the Chinese are going to be very unhappy about this. But the fact that they're pushing through with this, it means they're either desperate for money or they don't really care about the Chinese relationship. The amount involved here is 700,000 US dollars. That is the amount of coke that she was ordered to take based on the court order. And she's forcibly taking it because obviously the Chinese guys are resisting. When she goes there to take it, they're resisting. Then I want to quickly look at the Herald newspaper. Today I want to look at my favorite newspaper, the Chronicle of Bulawayo. I want to look at it. So let me share with you what's in the Herald newspaper. Let's quickly open the Herald newspaper together, and then we'll see what is over there. And as I said, we're entering a very interesting period in Zimbabwe politically. A lot of things are going to happen, and when those things happen, they are going to determine what happens within the next 10 years. So if you're a political player, you must make sure that you don't choose the wrong side. And right now, a lot of people are just about to choose the wrong side. So government scripts introduce school-based projects. So this is, you can look at the Herald newspaper, it's over there. And then I want to look at some pictures. Let's see who is smiling here. This is Higher and Tertiary Education, Innovation, Science and Technology Foreign Minister. Professor Amon Murura greets UNESCO Assistant Director General of Education, Stefania Giannini. So that is what we have here. You can look at, I saw Monica Mchangwa here. She's talking, so go and check out the Herald newspaper. There's a lot of stories here. And As I said, I can't read all the stories for you. There is a lot of stories here. And obviously, they are not leading with the story of Khama Billiat here. So you can look at that story in the Newsday newspaper. That is where you get the story of Khama Billiat. In fact, let's look at the Chronicle newspaper and see what they've got. It's a bit slow today. It's a very, very slow day. As I said, the most important story is going to be the story of Mo Blessing Ali. The burial of Mo Blessing Ali is so significant that you don't understand how significant it is. It's one of the most significant things that has ever happened in Zimbabwe. The release of Job Scala, the coming in of the release of the burial of Mo Blessing Ali. These are milestone events that are going to be happening. You see that Chamisa is quiet. Today, I don't even have a tweet from Chamisa. I don't have a tweet from anybody else. It's very quiet. Everyone is just waiting for that that burial to happen this weekend. Then I want to look at the Chronicle. It says presidential title deeds bring joy to Bulawayo residents. I think the Zimbabwean government is trying to deal with the backlash after they started to demolish people's house. And then I want to look at what Minister Ngube is saying here. Muda Ngube warns opportunists ahead of Zanu-PF DCC elections. I explained to you that we're entering a new era. So what we're doing is that, what's happening is that Zimbabwe is going through a political change. We're entering the post-Mnangagwa era. So what is going to happen here is everything that you're seeing now, it's about who is where after Mnangagwa is gone. That is all that everyone is thinking. Everyone is positioning themselves correctly so that they don't go on the wrong side. And that is basically what is happening. If you see anything that is happening in Zimbabwe, it's about positioning yourself so that in the next 4 years, when ED is gone, you're in the right place. So the ED third term, it's not wanted by anyone. There's no one who wants the third term at all. And ED, basically, slowly as each day passes, ED is going to become more and more, less and less powerful within the political sphere of Zimbabwe. And new people are going to materialize. And I think the third force, as I said, is going to be very important because next in line is General Chiwenga, and he's not going to be allowed to just step in there. So other people are going to try to go in ahead of General Chiwenga, but it will be like a dogfight. Everyone trying to go in and become the leader. So we're going to watch something quite bizarre and quite interesting going forward. We're reaching that point where politics in Zimbabwe is going to become dog eats dog. So that is where we are. We're going now. And as I said, this picture of Prophet Uebert Angel with Prophet Makandiwa, it's a very strange picture. And that is how I'm going to end this. Very strange picture. No story. Two people who don't like each other. Two people who don't meet often. They appear in the H Metro newspaper with no story. So basically a publicity stunt, and I think that Prophet Makandiwa was forced into this meeting. Then there's obviously other stories which I won't share here. You can go and look at this girl. She's trending, but I won't tell you why. I can't say it here. Gracious Priscah Maruta, she is trending, and you must find out why. I'm giving you an assignment today. I don't want to tell you what is happening with Gracious Priscah Maruta. It's I can't say it's on a family newspaper or on a family platform. You must go and find out. Right, Mkoma MS is saying who forced Makandiwa to meet with Uebert Angel. Right, Mkoma mavunza mvunza wakanaka, and I want to answer you. ED and the people around him are very close to Prophet Uebert Angel, and my belief is that they're not comfortable with having powerful people within the system that are not aligned to them. And this is one of those things that I think is happening here. The meetings like this, especially given the video that I played for you of Apostle Makore, you must understand that every prophet that you see is linked to another. And then the link between the prophets and the political system in Zimbabwe is Prophet Uebert Angel. So when you see Prophet Uebert Angel just appearing somewhere, it's not normal, it's not natural, it's an orchestrated event. And so I believe that this meeting is forced by a system on Makandiwa. And I don't think Makandiwa is going to, if he doesn't comply with these guys, I don't think he's going to do well in Zimbabwe. They are going to push him to a corner, especially in terms of his business interests, his mining interests, and so forth. Media, he's quite big. Makandiwa is very big in Zimbabwe. He's got more businesses than most people. And he has to juggle and decide whether he should go with this way or that way. Business decisions, it's like Gambako, when you see Gambako making decisions, it's I have to balance sometimes certain interests with other. But I'm not even like an ant compared to Makandiwa. Makandiwa has got interests that are massive in Zimbabwe and is very influential. If Makandiwa was to stand today and make a statement about the politics in Zimbabwe, the impact that will have will be so big. And you remember the prophecies that Makandiwa has been issuing over the past few months. Look at this in the context of that, what I just said now. Makandiwa's interest and the prophecies that he's been issuing, and the people that are trying to make sure that they keep Makandiwa in line. Obviously, there's a lot of things I know that I won't tell you here. But Makandiwa is one of the probably the most watched persons in Zimbabwe by the Zimbabwe government. They probably watched that 5-hour video. When you hear me saying I'm not talking longer than Makandiwa, they sit there and they watch it for 5 hours and they watch every word because they know that he's very influential. It's not like watching Magaya. If you ever watch Magaya speaking, what did he say? You see, those are the kind of things I'm saying to you. Khama is saying Khama is getting 50,000. Yes, Magaya has given Khama Billiat a package of 50,000 per annum US dollars, 20,000 signing fee, a flat to stay in Harare, penthouse probably, and a car, a luxury car. And that would be nice because Khama Billiat would then get to pay off all his debts in South Africa. Because when you see someone in South Africa, they've got a lot of debts. They actually failing to live. Then let's look at Alauda Chidodo. I don't know what you're talking about tax. So I think you're talking about what Linda Masarira is saying about INSCO. I said I don't know. I'm going to try to meet Rutendo and find out what's going on with INSCO. INSCO was donating to Zanu-PF and everything was fine. Suddenly, INSCO is very evil. It's like they've done something or they're suing each other with another channel. So I want to find out what's going on and I will let you guys know because this is very big, this is very significant. You can probably see something quite big developing here regarding INSCO and I don't know what it is. I want to look at Koma Pinas saying, didn't say anything about Chamisa. No, Chamisa didn't tweet today. So when he tweets, I'll let you know. And as I said, this weekend, it's all about More Blessing Ali. All the people in the opposition are working together. There is no one right now who is fighting each other because of the More Blessing Ali burial. Everyone wants this to go well. If the opposition doesn't do this well, it will be a dishonor on the memory of More Blessing Ali. And then let's look at Koma Elton Dangurwa. Thanks, Gambako, you're doing a good job. Thank you very much. Gambako Media, the biggest and most consistent streamer in the world. I said in the world, right? There is no one who wakes up every day at 4 to stream like I do. And this is well known. And I'm like, I think what has happened is that Gambako is now obviously the place to go for news. And I'm very grateful for that. Command Douglas is saying, Mchangwa is within the Zanu-PF system. Zanu-PF does not throw you out. They take you and they put you in a corner and they make you sit there so that you don't harm them. And then until the next time, you can even stay 5 years in Zanu-PF with nothing happening to you. And then they'll take you out again after 5 years. Mchangwa is not thrown out. He's there. I've seen the allegations that something happened to the Mtangwas and they're falling out to Mnangagwa. And I think this is being spread by people who don't know Zanu-PF how they operate. If Zanu-PF want to kill you, they'll just kill you. They don't have to wait or even do anything. So the fact that Mchangwa's wife is still in government and he's in Zimbabwe safe and not arrested, all that, it means everything is fine. Until the day when they want to move on him, they're going to move on him. But remember what I said. Look at this in the context of the succession. Where we're going now, you must choose the right side. So first, you must know what sides are there. And there are three sides. There's the ED side and the people who are currently in the system. There is the Chwenga side and all the people that are going to come in the Chwenga side. And then there's the third force. And the third force is a business, military, and political structure that does not want the Chamisa system and the Mnangagwa system, and they want to create a new political order. I've said this in the past. So what you do is, if you think that Chwenga is going to come out on top, you go to Chwenga and you align yourself there. If you think ED is going to come out on top, you go to ED and you align yourself there. If you don't know, you keep quiet and you go underground. You don't talk, you don't take sides, you don't get seen by anyone, because what is going to happen if the third force comes in? People on both sides are going to get decimated. And as you see, the opposition right now is in a very difficult position, because there was a strategy to decimate the opposition. Now there is a new strategy, and that strategy would be to decimate ED system. And Mtamba says, my third force is nowhere to be seen. Of course, that's why it's a third force. And you should refer to the book that I always tell you about, the 33 Strategies of War. Is the combination of all the books of war. If you read the 33 Strategies of War, you know how to wage a war and win. So I'm giving you an assignment, Mukoma Mutamba. How do you destroy a system? There are 33 strategies there. You find how to do it. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. To recap, there is a bizarre picture today in the newspapers of Uebert Angel and Prophet Makandiwa with no story. It doesn't say why they were meeting, where they were meeting, what they talked about. It just said how they met. And it comes in the background of a very rare video by Apostle Makore. Apostle Makore rarely makes a video, but this week he made a video. You can go to Apostle Makore's YouTube, Facebook, and look there. And there is something big happening behind the scenes, and it's political and religion. So Zigo is correct. When Zigo always talks about religion, is correct. I never talk about, very rarely do I talk about religion. I think the last time I talked about religion was when the AFM was going through a split. So it's very rare. If you see me talk about religion, it's connected to politics. And I think a few months ago, I told you a dream that I had about Prophet Makandiwa. And it was like this. Prophet Makandiwa was forced to leave Zimbabwe. So that was my dream. And I'm not talking about something that I'm predicting here. So in my dream, he was forced to leave Zimbabwe. And he left his church to other people to run. And when he came back, he found that there was nothing. The guys were supposed to run his business and church and everything had gone. And I saw him removing his jacket and starting to build the church with his hands. But the funny thing that happened was that he was bigger than the church. Like he became, do you know, like a giant? Like the way a baby is building toys. He became like a giant. And he was building from the top, but he had removed his jacket. He was now building with his hands. And that was very interesting. I told some of the prophets close to Makandiwa to tell him that dream, and it was bizarre to me. But it's clear what's going to happen here. What's going to happen is that if you are in politics and religion and you're influential, you're going to have to toe the line. You're going to have to choose the side within the next 4 years. If you don't choose a side, something very, very bad is going to happen to you. Otherwise, if you're clever, you're going to become part of the third force. Lie low, do nothing, be friends with everyone on both sides, which is what I always tell people. Be friends with people on both sides. Don't make extreme statements. And Mukoma Chako says, UFIC, I agree with you in one way or the other. Because what the Zimbabwe government did about 10 years ago, they had a program. So I don't want to release details of the program. But what I understand is that they trained a lot of pastors as intelligence. So half of the pastors that you see are actually intelligence. So be careful what you do and say. So that is something real. I'm not lying here. I'm telling you something that is a program. Because imagine if you make a pastor and they start a church. There's nothing that a pastor doesn't know here in a community. So you just plant them everywhere. Diaspora, villages, everywhere. And Mkoma McDonald here said all fake prophets. Right, thank you very much for watching. And let's all work together on the More Blessing Ali burial. Please, let's have peace this weekend, this whole week, in honor of More Blessing Ali. And you can follow Washington Ali, Job Scala, and also, as usual, follow Nelson Chamisa, follow Ostalos, Kwananzi, BT. I think it's an BT campaign, Stanford BT, all those guys that I normally follow here, and I give you the news. Mahere, she blocked me, so I don't know what she says. Oppo, Sam. I saw Oppo had a long thing, but I didn't see it. I just heard about it. So maybe one day I'll be able to watch Oppo and Mahere. When that happens, I'll tell you what they say. Thank you very much for watching, everybody.